here at IPD, or International Product Development. We're here with Richard and Chris. Now, Chris is one of the longtime employees, Richard being the founder of this company and a longtime racer. Give us a snapshot of what has brought you to today.
We started in 1963. I was worked at a place called Pacific Car Sales in Northeast Portland, and we sold Volvo, English Ford, and Datsun. Our boss decided he wanted to quit the automotive business, so he came to us and said, would you like to start a parts and service business? So in about 1966, we decided to sell everything that we had that didn't relate to Volvo. We sold the Ford parts and the Datsun parts, got rid of everything, and decided to specialize in Volvo. What we found is as we started progressing in autocrossing, we decided that we would try a race car. And in 1968, we built a 122S sedan. The biggest problem that we had early on in our racing career was finding parts for these cars. You couldn't call on the phone and order a set of headers or a sway bar or things like that. So we ended up making a lot of our own product. What we found is when we went to the racing events and to the autocross events, people would come up to us and say, gee, where did you get the sway bar? Where did you get the camshaft? Where did you get the headers? So I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to put a catalog out? So we put together a black and white catalog filled with Polaroid snapshots and a typewriter that couldn't spell very well. So we published our first catalog in 1968. And as time went on, the catalog got to be, instead of Polaroid, we actually did 35 millimeter photographs with it. And it developed into a 25-page catalog, and then a 50-page catalog, and then a 75-page catalog. Now I think it's about 120 pages for our rear-wheel drive cars. And now we have two other catalogs for the vintage cars. And in 1982, we actually won the first professional road race for Volvo in this country at Laguna Seca in 1982. The next year was the last year for the rear-wheel drive. And so we basically backed out of IMSA. We ran the car in some token races in 1983, and then the rear-wheel drive cars were gone. So we didn't have a choice. It was like transition or die. And so we transitioned. And then, of course, when Volvo came out in 93 with the 850s, it breathed new life into Volvo, and it also pumped new life into our company as well.
Okay. Now, with the products that you carry, it's not so much performance. Now, you have a rich history in racing, obviously. It's not all geared towards racing. A lot of it is automotive lifestyle items. Say if you have a dog or the inclement weather, those type of items are within your catalog reach as well.
Oh, absolutely. The old cliche about every Volvo wagon needs a golden retriever in the back is probably very true about Volvos. The wagons are a stalwart car. They're not your typical car for as far as wagons go. One time Volvo did an advertisement showing a Ferrari next to a 740 wagon turbo and said, until Ferrari builds a station wagon, this is what we'll have to put up with. So I thought that was a pretty interesting thing. And of course, safety has been Volvo's anchor since the car company started back in the 50s.
How has the company evolved to deal with today's market, like right now?
When you look at a market, you have two choices. You either change or you die. We have changed immensely. The new cars, as you know, all new cars are heavily computer operated. So you're not going to do pull the engine out, put a camshaft in it, and bore out the engine and do things that you used to do.
Chris, you have some Subaru background that'll kind of bring us up to what might be the next step.
I actually started off working here in 1997 being a Volvo enthusiast, and about 4 years ago I was invited to head up the Subaru division and start doing some research because we wanted to venture into a different car market to expand some of our business. So I started looking, and I bought a Subaru, and the company and I built a few project cars together, and we found out that a lot of our Volvo owners had interest in Subarus as well, and a lot of them own Subarus.
If you want to go down and find out about any kind of product you need for either your Volvo or your Subaru, one of you give us a chance to contact you. Where is that?
Well, we're here in Portland, Oregon. We're located really close to the Portland International Airport, east of I-205, right off of Airport Way. You guys can contact us at 800-444-6473, www.ipd.com. www.rallytech.usa.com and also www.rallytech.com, which is RALLITEK.com.
Really appreciate your time.
I'd like to encourage you to join us each week here on The Fuel Show. On next week's show, we're going to have two behind the wheels again. We're going to take a look at Land Rover's LR3 and also take a look at the rebirth of the FJ Cruiser. Dennis is going to be in the pits with our friends from Baxter Auto Parts. And don't forget, fuel is nitrous for your mind.